the emergency buoy concerning the parameters. Here I'm going to come back to the function parameters. If we look at our code, we can wonder where this comes from. The word person. First of all, we must always reason in terms of the main program, which is at this level. I'm going to try to divide this up through a command like this. Here we have the main program and here we have the function. We mustn't forget that the functions are like black boxes. We call them, but we don't really see how it's executed. Like here at name level 1, we call the function ask the name at this level, and we don't know how it's done. We just call the function in the main program. It's like a black box that we can't know its content, and when we call it, we get the value returned from the function, which make us store this value in a variable. There are functions with parameters like the function askAge and functions without parameters like the function askName. The function askAge takes an element which in reality the name of the person, recovers this element and returns that at the level of here. Therefore, by asking the question, we will ask directly to the person, as we saw in the program above. If I make, for example, well, it should be noted that we can have several parameters in a function and that we do not know through the commas. Here we can remember that a parameter is a variable local to a function and visible only within that function. So we can't use the person parameter in all the code. It's only visible in that function and we can name it anything. If we give, for example, an element to a function, I must automatically give a value to this function as it is the case. I'll delete a little name too and you'll see the difference. You'll see that there is an error. What's your name? Mimi TT. Your age 23. You see that at this level there is an error at line 23, that normally there is an argument missing one required. There is an argument that has not been stored at this level. So if I put, for example, directly TT and I restart my code, I take Toto, Tina, age, Toto 12, TT, you can see that at this level, when we want to make a call, it takes the element entered as an argument. So it takes this argument to return to the function. But the code works normally because when we enter the second name Tina, it takes Tina into consideration. But when it has to ask the question, it just asks the questions for TT. You have to be really careful when you enter the parameters. And when a function takes parameters, you have to always give a variable when you call this function. And now, if a function doesn't take a parameter, as it is the case of name, it doesn't take a parameter. The function that asks for the name doesn't take a parameter. If you put a parameter, you will see that there is an error. So I run my code and you'll see directly. I am informed about the error on line 19, saying that normally the function should not take a parameter and we put an argument inside. So be very careful when we do the function. If you do not put a parameter, put no value in the function. And if you put parameters, you must automatically put a value when you call. In conclusion, to pass from that depends. If we want to give a value to this function or not, well, see you soon for an exercise concerning the function to display.